God, man. Well, I hit the thing wrong, so I'm gonna have to have 1 part and 2 part thing. Anyway, all that red out there, I believe, is that's what do you call it? Field of flowers. That's it, field of flowers there. So I hit that thing, so I think there's gonna be 2 parts, a part 1 and a part 2 here. That's just because I was silly enough to hit the stop button. And I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to figure out how to put those edited together, so I'll make a part 1 and a part 2 video. That won't be too bad. All right, bouncy. Yeah, she's being a little rambunctious today. Seeing all them trees and stuff, and come on, bouncy, let's go. Anyway, there's a lot going on. I can't really mention a lot of that right now, but I can say that I trust that the Lord will take care of me. You know, the longest time. Oh, okay, we're still on 3X. That's what the problem is there. Right. Longest time. I'd say. Oh, I got the mile thing here. See. Anyway, for the longest time, I just done devotionals. What, you know, there's a Bible app I was getting my devotionals out of, and it pick you one scripture and everything. Oh, look at all them flowers. Those are nice. Huh? Those are nice. Oh, bouncy, come on. Bouncy. She's really being kind of acting up today. I don't know why she's acting up so much today. Probably because she was cooped up in that hotel. You know? Probably don't like this concrete, you know? It was really rural, you know, and where she come from. You know, a lot of trails, a lot of woods. She probably likes that, but I don't think she likes the concrete. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of trees and stuff, and yeah, this was the flowers that I saw on the way in, and you can see, I'm gonna blow them up a little bit. You can see that there's a big mass of them, and see the way they ain't cut? That's what they did by my apartments with the bluebonnets. They don't have the same legal obligation here, but actually, you know, for a fact, it's illegal to pick bluebonnets in Texas. You can get a fine for that. Oh, bouncy. You can get a fine for picking bluebonnets here. And it's still not a very unfortunate. I don't get people in my films if they just hear, you know. I mean, granted, it's a public place, but still, you know. Yeah. Maybe I'll come over here and get like a picture of these flowers. They look beautiful. See these flowers? You know, and the blue ones there, those are the bluebonnet, the Texas state flower. Right there. All those red ones are the ones that I saw when I was coming into the park here. Or trail. You know, trail, you want to say. Anyway, the ones I closed up in are bluebonnets. Those ones over here, not bluebonnets. Bluebonnets are more like on a stalk. So, anyway, I like the fact that there's a lot of foliage out that way. Was that river or whatever that had the spillway? What are you doing, girl? No. She's doing what she's doing best there. All right, let's go on, girl. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Once I started reading out of the Bible, asking God to help me learn some things, I started getting taught better about what I'm doing. I just I don't know, I got saved real late, and so I ain't one really to be able to quote scripture, and certainly can't interpret scripture. And I do know what happens if you lead people astray, and I'm really not confident. I don't want to go there. So anyway, I'm sorry if I'm all over the place today. Like I said, I'm having to sort out some things, sort out some priorities, sort out what I want to do. You know, I mean, really, the way I see it, yeah, everybody has crises and losses, you know. I've had a ton of losses in my life, a ton of crises in my life. A lot of the crises were of my own making. Me choosing what I wanted to choose. Me, what do you call it? Paying consequences for my poor choices. You know, the Lord, in my opinion, the Lord don't let nothing bad happen to you. He'll allow you to face some consequences from poor choices, and I make those so I learn. You know? Let's see how this is going. Okay. Well, fortunately, I've been here, so I can explain this to you. I've been here before. This pump is out. And what you have here is, ordinarily, the water would come out of here, go down here, and be recycled back up to the top, be pumped back up. You know, and there'd be a pump, I believe it's behind that in there. But it's not operating today. The reason I think it's not operating today is it could still be damaged from the freeze we had. Oh, bouncy, bouncy. She lives up to her name. You know, my ex's family named her Ripe. She's bouncy because she's always impatient to get it going. You know, and so if I remember right, the water was pumped around, recycled and pumped around and whatnot. And over here, I'm not going to get too close, especially with the dog. Over here is kind of an overlook. And before, and in the past, this had been dry. This had been dry here. But right now, with all the rain we've had lately, it's filled up, and it's kind of nice, you know. Here's one of them frisbee golf things. See, you're supposed to try to get it in that, and that's the hole, I believe, right there. You have to get it in there and touch it or something. I'm not really up to the frisbee golfing and stuff, you know. I do know it felt good to get finally a relaxing rest, man. Didn't have a lot of stuff to distract me at the motel room. Just bed and what I brought, and the dog. You know, don't have any real TV or nothing because I kind of cut the cord on that. So it's mostly have movies and stuff like that. So DVDs and such. Yeah, this does remind me of Memorial Park in Houston. Memorial Park had a 3-mile circle, and there's plenty of people working out, plenty of people, whatever they're doing, jogging and stuff. I think this goes right down directly into that river channel. It's like an overflow. Comes from like over here, and it drains down into here. Come on, bounce. I'm waiting for the gentleman there to go. Like I said, I haven't had much practice. This is like my third YouTube video here, and I say Practice makes better. I don't think I would never say that I was perfect. In fact, that's laughable. I spent 30 years or whatever thinking I was perfect. I had a perfectionist attitude. I was very hard on myself. See, if you look closely down there in that hole, there's where that water, you know, this channels into that river too. That goes down to that spillway. Yes, bouncy. Now, these pieces of cement here, this is where you start your see, this is hole 9. And that place I showed you over there, that one I just showed you a minute ago, that's where you're supposed to hit it to, and it shows you a picture so you have an idea of where you're aiming for. Now, I think the way I throw a frisbee, personally, I think I would be I'd be losing them in these ditches and things because I'm not that good. I'd be having to bring 40 frisbees just to get through a couple holes. And they got a trash here, and this nice little bench here, and again we got the water down there. So, not nice. Hi. Well, evidently little bouncy here is I guess the locals would pronounce her adorable. At least the locals here in this little area here pronounce her adorable. They just, oh, she's so cute, she wants to say hi, and they like her. That's good. Let's go over here. We're not gonna get too close, girl, but here's some of the reasons I would want to stay on trail. You know, I'd want to stay on trail around here, just because of these. You know, you don't want to be in those, you know. So I guess I'll have to see if some of them pictures took. Maybe one of these days I can find out how to edit good enough so I can put some of those pictures at the end of the videos, like my ex-wife and other people do. One of my friends though wanted me to take some pictures for her. She's wanting to plan some trips. Bouncy's ears perked up, I guess, because she heard some dogs howling out there. Anyway, this is very pleasant. It's going to be very unpleasant soon, this weather-wise. It's going to be like in the hundreds before too much longer. But like I said, my channel is more of a philosophical channel. I just want to give you some nice scenery while I'm talking. Hopefully we can become friends. You know, I don't know. I don't expect anybody to always agree with me. I mean, who really expects to be right 100% of the time unless they have like a God complex, you know? Far be it from me to, you know, you're not supposed to judge anybody anyways. Yeah. Not really, you know? And I'll tell you what, pride is, people say pride's not good, but a lot of people like me are full of pride for a very long time. You know? Sometimes people don't want to hear that, but it's true. And shoot, I had to fall on my face so many times before that pride kind of leveled out. And to be honest with you, it became a sinkhole and almost tore me down, like a heavy undertow, almost pulled me under. That's a heavy burden to have to carry there. Heavy burden. So I'm getting fixing to where I'm going to be turning around in a little bit. Now, this is a nice place though. Like I said, It doesn't look like there's any lighting system, so I wouldn't recommend being here after dark, no. I don't know what the M here with the sign pointing to the left is, but I don't know what that's about. I do know, according to the thing, we've got like a quarter-mile more of trail, and then it'll be time to go back. Yeah, I'm positive that that's, what do you call it? Call that, obviously that's been the Pepper Creek that we've been looking at, that I've been referring to but not naming. So, you know, I mentioned the Lord a lot, but I don't care. You believe what you want to believe. I'm not going to tell you what to believe. That's something that everybody's got to come up to on their own. It's nice, peaceful out here. I mean, get to hear all the birds and all. Yeah, it's kind of nice. I'm gonna go back up to this bridge and then I'm gonna say goodbye to y'all for this time. Boy, Bouncy. I guess she's been having a good time doing what dogs do best. Smelling and looking and doing whatever. Come on. Let's go up here so we can say goodbye to our friends here. Now, you know, one thing I thought for the longest time, maybe sometime I'll tell you that story, you know, and that is, for the longest time, you know, I had some things happen way in my past. For the longest time, I tried to cover up pain. I tried to cover up things that happened that I didn't want to think about or consider, you know, and it isn't worth it. I wasted about 30, 40 years of my life doing that, you know. That just isn't worth it, you know. I mean, looks like this is like the entrance to the park here, the other side. There's a road up there, and then there was a parking lot back over the other way. All right, Bouncy, you want to come over here to the thing, huh? What I was saying is, anyways, for a long time in my life, I chose to try to cover up my past, cover up my pain, numb my pain. It wasn't until, you know, I did this 40-day fast program for fasting from wrong thinking. It wasn't like a food fast or nothing like that, but it was a voluntary. It's something I did on my own. A good friend suggested it, and finally I got an aha moment. And what do you call it? Just a few minutes. We'll look over here at the stream while the guy goes by. Like I said, I don't want to. I'm not doxing anybody or anything like that. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and look at this stream for a minute. It's a nice stream. Someone threw some trash down there, but that's not nice. But really a nice overlook. So, I ain't into doxing nobody, and this is about the end of the line here, but I mean, I'll walk back a few minutes. But here's a better picture of this here. You know, it wasn't until I got away from people being able to help me for a while, you know, and I did that fasting from wrong thinking, and most of those days applied to me, you know. It was about not being a victim, about not being offended and things like that, you know. A lot of those things are wrong thinking. You know, and the bottom line is that You know, I finally figured out that, you know, I don't want to be looking at my bad habits necessarily. My bad habits, yeah, they need to be dealt with, but what I needed to do was ask for God to heal the stuff inside of me that was hurting. And I spent all this time going to AA and all these other places, you know, trying to find help through therapists, doctors, and stuff. And the bottom line is, all those people are human. They're going to let you down. You're going to have problems. People have problems at church too. You know, people have problems a lot of places. But it wasn't until I finally heard from the Lord that, you know, I need to have Him heal me from inside. You know, heal that pain of those things I've gone through. That I could actually start understanding about how much, you know, if I don't feel the pain inside me, you think about it that way, then why would I have to cover up all that? You know, the Lord gave me the strength to look within, find a lot of things about myself I didn't care too much about, find a lot of stuff that needed to be dealt with, and find myself starting to want to do positive things, you know, and the positive things are taking up more time, and then that leaves less time for the negative things. You know, I do one thing I will give to AA though was they got me sober, and I could never admit to the Lord, you know, and make a commitment to the Lord to be a follower of Christ without being sober, because that's a serious commitment there, you know. You have to be willing to be persecuted, etc. You know, you have to be willing, you know. Sorry about this being the same kind of scenery, but these videos are a way for me to get out some of that pain too, and maybe later on, if it still feels right, I'll go ahead and talk about some of my pain. I have a lot of pain, and I spent a long time trying to cover up a lot of pain. You know, and these are my opinions, you know. You're welcome to have your own, you know. Like I requested on the other video though, if you want to leave some comments, please try to keep them clean. I'd be appreciative of that, you know. I don't mind other people having an opinion. People have opinions all the time. I just, why we gotta do each other like that? We can agree to disagree, you know. You know, and I know I'd be talking about, you know, people call spirituality, or I'd be talking about Christ. Sometimes that kind of stuff is polarizing and all that, but I mean, what else am I gonna say? What am I gonna do, you know? I'm just talking about my experiences in my life though, so yeah, if someone don't like what I'm saying about that and just talking about me, I mean, it doesn't have to apply to you, then I'm awful sorry about that, but that's how I feel about myself. And just like you might have strong opinions about something else, like I said on that other video, maybe we ought to just agree to disagree at times. And with that, I'll go ahead and say goodbye for today, because I mean, this is just the same scenery. It's going to repeat itself. Bouncy, come here. Yeah, see, Bouncy said goodbye too. I'm going to go down to someplace, and probably the next bench I see, I'll get her some water and stuff. I do wish you all to have a great day whenever you're seeing this. Appreciate you staying with me till the end if you're done. And you know, in many ways, they tell about this global world. You know, the world's big in some ways, it's small in others, you know. Really. I mean, yeah, this technology stuff's made the world seem a lot smaller than it once was. Now you can get across the globe in maybe a day on a plane, day or two, you know. Used to take you about a year, well, several years or whatever. I don't remember how long it took Magellan to get across, go around the world, but it took him, you know, years, not days. And so in many ways, people think that the world's huge and big. Other ways, it's just totally small. I'll go ahead and talk till I get this bench over here. I'm gonna have to get her some water, and maybe I'll have to hydrate up too. So now, as it gets warmer, I'm gonna suggest, if you live in the warmer climate, obviously you probably already know, but if you go outside and it's warm, please bring plenty of water. My ex went out, and it was like, you know, I'm not bragging on her either. It was like really hot, and I told her, maybe we ought to do the walking first, but she wanted to eat first. And then, you know, I asked her how many bottles of water she had. I think she had 2. It was like at least 100 degrees. And unfortunately, the place that she went to, we went to there, I was in the car, but there wasn't any shade there either. There's no shade, and there's like maybe like 2 benches and short. She got turned out around there, and fortunately, before her battery died, she was able to get a hold of me, and I had to call 911 on her so she could get rescued. She got disoriented in there and didn't have any water or anything, and fortunately, that was a good end and not a bad end in there. But even on a day like today that's mild, I'd highly recommend that you bring plenty of water and some stuff maybe to eat and stuff like that. Even if you don't think you're gonna need it. Maybe I've seen too many episodes of Survivor, man. Let's drown, I guess, you know. Anyway, I need to quit babbling. Or maybe I'll talk to y'all tomorrow if it ain't raining. You all have a blessed day, and you know, no matter how hard it seems at times, at least for me, God's a source of comfort. I don't know how you get comfort, but you know, they have a lot of those corny sayings, but some of them are true. Some of those are true, and that's, you know, it's only darkest before the dawn, you know, and don't quit a minute before the miracle. All those things, you know, were, you know, I know people heard that all in the past, you know. People heard that plenty of times. It's like, almost like, doesn't mean anything anymore, but you think about it, though. If you're hurting today, you know, it'll get better. You know, there's hope out there for you, you know. She's getting riled up. She wants to keep going. You know, I mean, times I'm like this dog. I want to keep pushing on. But in just a minute, I'm going to hang it up and let you know. I'm gonna get her some water. She needs some water. You know, in many ways, she's a good dog. She's a real good dog, but in many ways, she's like kind of spoiled too. So let me go ahead and undo my pack and get her some water, though, and we'll get on with the trail today. Anyway, it's nice talking to you today. Nice visiting with you, and this is some nice scenery out here, and I really did enjoy myself today. Take care and God bless.